Jeff's calling. Something's on, and it'll involve a bit of time, but it'll almost certainly be something worthwhile.
It was an unknown number, so sometimes you kind of think about, oh, will I answer this or not? And then I thought, well, as a charity, you have to answer every call.
We used to share an office for quite a few years together, and it was one of those evolving things where he'd come and talk to me about it. He'd talk to me about the SOAM conference, or that kind of conference in Robin Hood and those kind of models, and we chatted about it. So it was an evolving thing between us and everybody else that was chatting on it.
So I've picked it up and I'm kind of running across the street, and there's this booming voice. Hello, are you Vicky Condon? And I'm like, yes. And he said, you run Raise Foundation? And I said, yes. And I remembered kind of looking around thinking, someone's pranking me. Like, he sounded like a radio voice.
He bumped into me in the lift and said, listen, old boy, I need to spend 10 minutes with you. I've got an idea I'd like to share with you. So I said, sure, Jeff, door's always open. And he wandered in and laid it on the table.
Well, I can certainly remember the phone call, because I'd promised myself that when I finished the RBA, it'd be a year before I would take another role. The media were telling me I was the most disliked person in the country, so I wanted to have a break, but I broke that promise to myself because I really love the Future Gen model. I love the fact that it gives a really great investment product to mum and dad investors, and it helps kids.
Well, it's important to me because, first of all, I believe in the stock market, I believe in financial instruments, but I'm also a firm believer in innovative ways that we can do philanthropy. I think people often see philanthropy as a series of just donations, whereas I think we can make traditional financial instruments work for people in the way that this has been designed with that 1% of funds.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I thought, let me see, getting 18 fund managers into the same stable and then asking it to be management fee free. That I got to see. But Jeff did it. Incredible.
When Jeff and Kate first started, they basically gave 1.6 million to not-for-profits, and that was really youth at risk. And now, if you think about it, we're giving, between these two amazing vehicles, about 10 to 11 million a year. So Jeff, when he started 10 years ago, was his big, hairy, audacious goal really was to give 100 million by 2030. And I think we are on track to do that.
Raise Foundation runs youth mentoring programs, so we do early intervention mentoring in high schools for young people who are really vulnerable and might drop out of school for various different reasons. I love working at Raise. It was like my fourth child. It's definitely a passion project of ours, and we've been running for 16 years now, and I started in the beginning hoping that we could just help one young person after an experience that our family had with suicide. And I remember thinking on the day that I pulled out the business plan and went to ASIC to register the organisation, that if we could just help one young person like him, then that would be worth it. But 16 years later, we've had 15,000 young people graduate from the program, and we've trained over 10,000 volunteer mentors. And I always refer to Jeff Wilson as Father Christmas for us. It was like Christmas, when he said, okay, you're going to be part of Future Generation. And yeah, it's been incredible.
We all want to do our best in a community and be successful, but Future Gen sort of has provided myself and probably everyone at Wilson Asset Management, everyone involved in it, like the whole finance industry, an opportunity to give back. Convincing the fund managers was what I saw as potentially the biggest challenge. We'd put a timeline for ourselves. We'd decided when we're going to lodge the prospectus. So the clock was ticking, and I think we pretty much had a little over a month to find 13 or 14 fund managers that are happy to manage some money and not charge fees. I'm a pretty good sleeper. I don't wake up in the middle of the night, but over that period, a couple of times, I sort of woke up in the middle of the night and thought, hey, we're not going to be able to do this. And for those people that do wake up in the middle of the night, it is a scary place. Over the journey, I think we've provided 88 million to support youth mental health and children at risk. And if that just saves one life, then it's all been worthwhile.
It's transformational. It's transformed us. It's just, I can't tell you the the impact and the difference that Future Generation has made for Raise is it's transformational. Like, we just would not be the organisation that we are now if it wasn't for them.
I'm a big U2 fan, and one of my favourite songs is I Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And when I was travelling, I'd always play it, always. And then I realised probably 2 or 3 years after Future Gen had started operating that I never listened to it anymore.